Jennifer Lopez has recently found herself grappling with anxiety over her ex-husband Ben Affleck's latest career move, a potential podcast project with his longtime friend Matt Damon. The idea of the Argo star stepping into the podcasting world has reportedly sparked a wave of concern from J.Lo, who fears that the intimate, unscripted nature of such a platform could lead to revelations and conversations she would rather keep private. According to insider reports, the proposed podcast deal comes with a lucrative offer for Ben and Matt, providing them with an opportunity to build a direct connection with their fans in a way that few celebrities have managed before. They would own the format, a source revealed, emphasizing that this venture would not just be about sharing stories but about creating a brand and platform that they control. It'd be a cheap way to crank up cash flow and create a direct line to their fans like never before. The chemistry and history between Ben Affleck and Matt Damon make this project particularly appealing to industry insiders. The two have been lifelong friends, collaborators, and co-stars, with a shared history that spans decades. "Everybody who knows Matt and Ben knows they have a pretty incredible story to tell," said an insider. "They can convert their relationship as well as bond with their wives into content that's authentic and compelling." The potential for revealing behind-the-scenes anecdotes, personal insights, and candid conversations could be a goldmine for fans and the entertainment industry alike. However, this potential goldmine is exactly what has Jennifer Lopez worried. Another source, speaking to RadarOnline.com, conveyed that J.Lo would freak out if Ben went wild on the podcast. The history between Jennifer and Ben is complicated and layered. They have lived together twice and broken up twice, a testament to their turbulent relationship filled with passion, joy, heartache, and complicated emotions. "They've seen the best and worst of each other," the source pointed out, adding that if Ben simply sits back, shooting the breeze and getting loose with Matt, then J.Lo fears that anything could spill out. For Jennifer, who has always maintained a carefully crafted public image and guarded her personal life closely, the thought of Ben sharing intimate details, anecdotes, or opinions that could reflect negatively on her or their relationship is deeply unsettling. The stakes are high, especially since the media and public have often scrutinized their relationship through a lens of judgment and speculation. Ben Affleck, the source explains, has had a notoriously difficult time dealing with the press over the years. There is a side of him that many people do not understand, a more vulnerable, flawed, and human side that Jennifer has witnessed firsthand. Even now, there are people who believe she was too good for him, or that he wasn't good enough, the insider revealed. This perception has undoubtedly weighed heavily on both of them, influencing how they handle their public and private interactions. Jennifer Lopez is also concerned about how this podcast could affect her own reputation. She doesn't want to be seen as a control freak who kept tabs on Ben or as the person who pushed him back during their time together. From her perspective, the idea that Ben might share stories that paint her in a negative light or suggest that she was overly controlling would feel like the ultimate betrayal. It would be the ultimate betrayal from her perspective if he shared too much, the insider said. Despite the fears and potential risks, Ben is reportedly torn. He has to be considering the podcast seriously given the offer on the table and the appeal of a new creative outlet. Yet at the same time he is scared of the consequences. He has to be considering it but scared of it at the same time, the source said. Jennifer, on the other hand, is sweating over how it will all play out, worried about what might be revealed, what might be misconstrued, and how the public will interpret their story. This situation highlights a common dilemma faced by celebrities who navigate the fine line between private life and public persona. On one hand, there is a lucrative opportunity to connect with audiences on a new, more personal level, to tell stories that humanize and entertain. On the other hand, there is the risk of losing control over how those stories are told, the potential exposure of vulnerabilities, and the reopening of old wounds. The podcast, if it comes to fruition, could potentially redefine the public narrative about Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, as well as their relationships with their partners. It may also change how Jennifer Lopez's chapter with Ben is perceived in the media. For fans, it offers the tantalizing prospect of hearing genuine conversations between two Hollywood icons who have shared a lifetime of experiences, from their humble beginnings in Boston to their rise as acclaimed actors and producers. Yet, behind the scenes, the emotions are much more complex. Jennifer's fears are understandable, given the history, the high-profile nature of their relationship, and the pressures of maintaining privacy in an age where every detail can become headline news. The idea that Ben's candid moments on a podcast could inadvertently bring their personal history back into the spotlight is a source of anxiety for her. Moreover, the nature of podcasting, informal, unscripted, and often free-flowing, makes it difficult to control the narrative once conversations start. Unlike scripted interviews or carefully managed public appearances, podcasts thrive on authenticity and spontaneity. This format is both their biggest selling point and their greatest risk. The insider's comments paint a picture of a man caught between opportunity and apprehension. Ben Affleck is no stranger to reinvention and career shifts, and a podcast could be an exciting new chapter. But the shadows of his past, his public struggles, and his complicated relationship with Jennifer Lopez loom large. For Jennifer, this new development is yet another chapter in a long story of love, heartbreak, and resilience. She wants to move forward on her own terms, protect her legacy, and ensure that her narrative is hers to tell, not shaped by others, even though she once loved deeply. In conclusion, the potential Ben Affleck and Matt Damon podcast is more than just a business deal or a creative endeavor. It is a source of emotional tension and uncertainty for Jennifer Lopez. It symbolizes the challenge celebrities face when their personal histories intersect with their professional ambitions, and how the public's insatiable curiosity can sometimes disrupt the delicate balance of privacy and fame. How this story unfolds remains to be seen, but it is clear that the stakes are high, and the emotions involved are deeply personal.